So it's really about believing in yourself, and doubt is the biggest thing that will actually cancel anything out. So you need to have a strategy that will work on the emotional component of what you're feeling, because your energy is vital. If your everything that happens to you is about your energy signature, and you need that signature to be as high as you can possibly get it in order to attract in the right deals, the right opportunities, the right people. And if you're in doubt or if you're in fear, then what happens is that your vibration drops down quite significantly, and so you don't attract those great opportunities. And that then further makes the problem worse, because then you start to second guess yourself and you start to go into deeper things. So my strategy is always to have a means, that I can uplift my energy. And I do that through music. I do it through my own Freedom to Be program. I do it with simply sitting and breathing. Breathing is so powerful. In the Freedom to Be program, there's a breathing technique that, it's very simple, but it's like turning your head and breathing, and it's integrating your left and right brain. So it's finding strategies that work for you. Some people do tapping. I don't do tapping. I find it tiring.
Do you want to just show us the breathing technique, Jean-Marie? Because I use it myself, and I find it brilliant, just to really reconnect very, very quickly.
Well, we normally have artwork in front of us. So what you do is you just basically allow the breath to go right down into there you go. There's one of the accelerators. So you're breathing right down into the belly and back up, and you do that 3 times. So it's like, and then after that third that third breath, you turn your head to the right shoulder, and you begin to breathe in as you turn your head to the left shoulder, and you breathe out as you come back to center position. That one part is very powerful in its own right. The program has 5 of these very fast processes, which is why it's so powerful. But if you were to do that, and you keep doing that, so you do in total 3 deep breaths, 1 head turn, repeat that 3 times. Total of 9 breaths and 3 head turns. Then you shut your eyes, and this is an old kinesiology trick, and you actually put both hands over the accelerator, but if you haven't got one, well, you can just put them together, and you just shut your eyes, and what happens is that it releases.
Okay.
And we call it the cosmic orgasm.
Who could say no to that?
We're expecting that, but Jen, I love that you threw that right out, and I'm sure it might have just got some people who go, oh well,
I'm known for my comments.
I'm glad you didn't say subtlety.
No, that is not one word that people call me.
Okay, you'll go, Andie. Off you go.
Okay, so I think I want to ask that what would be the most satisfying experience, like the single, just one, because I'm pretty sure you've got lots, but if you could define one very satisfying experience in your career.
There's been many. I think that one of the things that blew me away with my first book was getting a phone call one Saturday night from England. And it was a fellow who said, I've got your book. And he said, I am just amazed. He said, I have done every course out there, the Deepak Chopras, all of those courses, and said this one book brought it all together and made so much sense. So he said, thank you for that. But what really I get a lot of satisfaction, I got some amazing testimonials from people all over the world. We would need another session just to go through those. But what I like about my work now is that when I do a genetic integration with someone, and I had someone recently, and I knew they were in a big, deep doo-doo. And so I just knew, because I'm that kick-ass solution chick, was that it was actually the fear of survival. And so I pulled out the accelerator, and via Skype we did a genetic integration. And within 2 hours, he was getting emails and texts saying, we want you to work with our teams. You know, all these things were unfolding for him. And that really is what I wanted to do.
That sounds pretty powerful, actually. And I suppose doing what you do and seeing people have those results would be, I suppose, an experience each time you see it. So it would be hard for you to define any single experience.
Yeah, well, they're all great. You know, everyone, you know, it's wonderful to see someone who has lost everything, because I deal with people that have got a lot of shit, excuse the French. And so they're in big, deep doo-doos. And so my work is about getting right down to what is actually creating that big doo-doo moment. And, you know, I work with a lot of people that went through the GFC who, you know, were just lost everything. And it's about working with them and bringing them through so that they actually, you know, then can create a new life for themselves. What we find is that by dealing with the core issues, it releases the fear that goes around losing everything, and then they've got that energy to put forward into productive work instead of being trapped in it.
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that totally. So I know that the world is catching up. Everyone on here is completely aware that money is energy.
Yeah.
And feelings and emotions, and they all culminate into the results that we get in life. And that's where I find the simplicity of your programs be that's something that I know I was looking for a long time, just siphoning through all of the things that are available and just give me something that works, that's simple, so you don't have to keep reliving the same painful pattern. And we can just almost like just move on.
Michelle, when I went through my marriage breakdown, I went through a lot of trauma, and I just said to the universe, like, I would go off and I would have sessions with various people, and there weren't enough counsellors in the whole of the world that had enough appointments for the shit that was coming up in me. So I had to create them, and so I put out to the universe, I said, I don't want this Band-Aid. I don't want Band-Aids. I said, I'm over Band-Aids. I've done Band-Aids for, 20 years. I want stuff that will actually get right down to the core, and that's what this work does. And I'm the lazy skunk from way back. I just want to go out and have fun. I don't want to have to deal with all of this stuff. I want to be able to go bang, 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 done. I'm out the door and I'm off to the beach.
And I know that that's your favourite place to go. You're a beach girl. I'm a mountain girl. Where are you, Andie? Where do you find beach?
Okay, I think I'm a both of those sides girl. I love the beach. This is a bit of a bit of. Or is that okay? That's probably me. Okay. So
it's breaking up.
Did you get any of that?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's retry then. I would say I'm a bit of beach and mountain girl. So I like both energies because they both have some really good things to offer me, depending on where I am at. But I find the beach good for cleansing. So if I ever need to go and recharge, I just go. My feet, I don't even have to go for a swim. And I think just soaking feet in salt water is good enough to recharge.
I do the same.
Yay. So I've got a question for you, and I think it's important because a lot of businesses, I suppose, get scared when they receive feedback, which is not really the nicest feedback. What has your toughest feedback been, and what have you done with it? Like, how did you take it, and what did you do with it?
Initially, I would feel shock. And then I came to understand that my work and my energy alone is very powerful, and so I will actually press people's buttons. So, in our written word, words have a frequency, vibration, and tone. So I can write something, and people can get amazing healings. They can burst into tears and release a whole lot of stuff when they've never done that before. Or if they're suppressing stuff, it will bring it to the surface, and that's when I get interesting comments like, you have no right to write this book, because it's full of spelling mistakes. Send it back to the editor and there is one. What my work does is it stretches people's conceptions about things. And so when that happens, the ego comes up and starts to fight back. So I've been told that my work has got all this fear in it. Okay, fine. I get all sorts of comments. These days I just go, okay.
So would it be right to say that you don't get fazed by the comments, but do you kind of go try to learn from it as well? Like if somebody gave you some constructive feedback, what's your take?
Oh, look, I don't discount it. As I said, when someone said that the book was full of spelling mistakes, I thought, because I had actually put a disclaimer in there that it was unedited, because what we were doing is that we were keeping the integrity of the energy, the healing energy, clean and pure. And I knew that if it went off to someone else, their energy gets embedded into it. And then that interrupts my energy frequency, my energy signature that's going out to interact in. So I was attempting to keep it pure. So when this happened, I said, oh, look, okay, I will give in. I will have the editor look at it. And as I said, when the editor looked at it, there was nothing there. It was in their mind. Their mind saw all these mistakes that it wasn't actually there. So, when someone does, my first reaction, like anybody else, I'm human, I will go, oh, and then I step back and I think, okay, is this, I need to go look at the material, the written material, the whatever it is I've done, and do I need to go and use the program? And I'll go and use the program and I'll just clear whatever it is.
Okay, great, thanks. Jen, I think everyone really wants to know about your book and your programs. So can you, we're getting a lot of those messages, so can you say that out there?
Oh, okay. The website is livingbrilliantly.com.au. The program that we use that releases the stress in 4 minutes is the Freedom to Be program. The money program is called Money Loves Me, because it does. I'm in love with money, and money loves me. We're having a hot, passionate affair.
Ooh,
and the book is Activate Your Creative Spirit. Now, this is a book that everyone needs to read, because it is showing entrepreneurs, or it's explaining to entrepreneurs how we need to position ourselves energetically around our mindsets and everything for the new economy, because I don't think there's anyone that isn't aware that something's up. Okay, so that's what all of my work has really been geared to this time. I mean, I've done work in the past, but it's really being positioned for now. And
this is your core thing, isn't it? This is your true feeling.
Absolutely. And it's we're getting this divide happening where basically we cannot do business the way that we've done in the past. We are moving into a whole new vibration around money and business and everything that we do. And those that actually listen and do the core work in order to release their core money patterns, etc., and move into this new energy of creation, they're the ones that are going to thrive.
I agree with you, especially, and also I think that when you said that things are changing, it's so the style of business has become more relationship involved now, and the people who I find it personally, people who work from their heart, rather than just going, I have to go make a sale, or they're more focused on, what they can get from people. If you're like that and you're working from your heart, the right connections just happen. Like a clockwork.
They do. However, we are also more sensitive and more susceptible to the unethical business, the people that are doing business in the old ways, because they're actually going really into survival, and they're also going into greed big time. And so they will do absolutely anything, they'll say anything, and it's very difficult for heart-centered entrepreneurs to maintain the integrity of who they are. And so we need to be really mindful of transforming on a daily basis. You know, sometimes it's even more on a daily basis, depends on what's happening. Because if we are not in that absolute total alignment, body, mind and soul, then we are not putting out the right frequency.
Absolutely. And I think it might sound big, but it's actually a very good thing once you learn the process. And from the sounds, your book and your programs definitely teach people. I know I follow my own process as well, and I'll definitely look into your program as well. But the truth is, once you click on it, and you know how to, I suppose, pedal your bike on the how.
Look, one of the things that I've found, and this is probably the hardest thing to understand, is that the more that we transform and the more that we go into the depth of who we are, the more challenges can actually come, but they can be subtle. And so sometimes we don't necessarily know what they are. And, that's why I'm the solution chick, because, like I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. Madly scribbling all of the things, and I'm thinking, we've got expectations, we've got fear of survival, we've got all this stuff, and I'm writing all this down in a book, to look at in the morning, because what was coming up was it was around my value. I'm learning to really value who I am, because for so long I've been on the cutting edge and people haven't understood my work. And so it's very hard to sort of say, yay, I have value when everyone's going, huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah.
Jean-Marie, I'm mindful of the time, and I would like to just ask your 3 hot little takeaways to everyone, just to do a wrap, and then we'll unfortunately close this. I think we could talk all day. This is a fascinating conversation. Okay.
Look, the most important thing that we need to understand is that the energy that we are moving into is about our creative force, okay? So anything, it's not going to work by following other people. It's not going to work about trying to get yourself into a box, because we are the front runners. We need to be thinking outside the box. We need to stand on top of the box and be strong in our trust of the universe and what's happening for us. But we need to be creative. You need to spend as much time as you can allow being creative. I don't care what you do. I paint with my hands. That's one of them on the back wall there. Music is vital. Put on some music. I've been doing a whole lot of videos lately, about music is the note home. Music is the frequency that takes you to source. Okay, so that's the one thing that you absolutely cannot do without. And forget trying to go and do everything that everyone else is doing. What is so vital is go to the beach, breathe, tune in and ask and listen within, because that is your unique blueprint. That is your unique receiver. If you follow that advice, you come up with amazing products, you come up with original work. We can't copy anyone. We can't model ourselves on anybody. We absolutely need to be authentic in every part of our lives. And there's none of this faking till you make it anymore. Sorry.
No,
we've crossed the line. It's be authentic or you just don't.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well,
absolutely.
Ladies, this has been unbelievable. Thank you very much, Jean-Marie. Remind us again, I know it's in the comments there, where can we find you and your work?
Okay. My website is www.livingbrilliantly.com.au, because that's what I desire to always have, to be living brilliantly.
Awesome.
Living
brilliantly.
In the chat.
So everything, all my work is about whatever is preventing you from living brilliantly.
.com.au. Okay, so I'm just going to hold a piece of paper for those who can't see.
No,
So there's living brilliant.
Up.
Huh. Upside down?
I don't know. I can't see it.
No, it's in the chat box anyway. Chat box, and I'll post it into the group. So
I'll just go here.
Andie, where did you find you?
There you go. How simple is that?
To right.
Thank you very much, ladies, for having me. It was a delight.
A pleasure.
Thanks.
And it's my first blab.
Oh, thank you so much for being here with us today. I think me, Michelle, and everyone else learned a lot today. And whoever is going to be watching this video later on that Michelle's going to be posting on is going to learn a lot today. And I hope people do access all these great tools that you've created for people to use for their own growth and benefit.
Well, as I said, things are always going to be happening. Stuff is always happening. We're always being subjected to things that stress us out, that bring up our patterns. We need very fast processes because we've got too much to do. We haven't got time to be wallowing in the corner, sitting there, sucking our thumbs, saying, oh, shit, no one likes me today.
No, we don't have time for that. So, Andie, where can we find you and your work?
Okay, so you can find me in 3 places.
Oh, that must be tough.
When you're a mum, you kind of learn to kind of go in different places. But one of the places is, of course, my website, which is scruffydogstudio.com.au.
I love that name.
Thank you. It's I love my dogs, that's why. And the other place is my Facebook page, which is also Scruffy Dog Studio. Just type in Scruffy Dog Studio and you'll find a little dog with a bone and you'll know that's me. And the other place you can find me is my little group, which is called the Dreamers Collective. And it's basically for people who like to dare to be different and don't want to do everything that everyone else is doing. Pretty much what Jan just said. So those are the 3 places you can find me. And you can also find me one more place in Michelle's group because I love that group.
You can also find me on Facebook as well. And we've got the Money Loves You page, which I'm just developing. So I haven't quite decided what name I'm going to give it. So you'll have to go to my actual profile page and you'll find the link in there.
Okay, great. We're going to look up Jan's page and see what she's to offer. Michelle, why don't you tell us where we can find you?
Oh, you can find me on Living Breathe Facebook, sadly. I'm hosted and founded the group, which you're all a member of, Entrepreneurs Globally Unite. I'm really proud of this segment. Work Together Wednesday is unbelievable. It's a spotlight our group members. And who knew you were hiding in there, Jan-Marie? Look at what you bring to the community.
Thank you.
It's unbelievable how many more we're going to hear from. I have a list going of people that I know. Lisa's in here at the moment. She's on the list for about 4.
I know she really wants to be here, and we're going to make sure she does.
Yes, absolutely. So we are doing this weekly, and I'm absolutely loving it. So you can find more about what I do. I'm an energy and mindset coach and also a home business specialist. You can find me at $80milliondollarmindset.com. And, of course, right here in Entrepreneurs Globally Unite, I am here to serve and to see how brilliant we can all be together. So that is certainly a passion of mine. And I'd just like to thank all of you for showing up and giving us your valuable time today. I hope you've enjoyed it all. We've got Phil and Dee and Lisa's still here. Thanks for your energy and your input, guys and girls. And
thank you.
You know what? Next week we're going to be connecting to unlimited abundance and clearing self-sabotage with a guided healing on release and clearing the energy field. With Camilla Levin, I can't even have a go at that surname. Lefebvre, I'm sure it's French. So same time next week. Thank you everyone for your valuable time and contribution. We honour and appreciate you all. Jan-Marie, you're a star.
Thank you. Thank you.
So bright, beautiful. Andie, namaste.
Thank you, Andie. Thank you, Michelle.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. everyone.